this church. Come experience the Lord for yourself. Come experience the Lord for yourself. FWBC. Come experience the Lord for yourself.
It sent for had been crushed. It had been shattered in transportation, in the transport from where it was to her home. And when it arrived, it had been crushed because there was something heavy on top of the wrap box that it had come in. I'm missing the shout. The shout is the box was well wrapped. It was looking good on the outside, and yet when she opened it up, it was shattered on the inside. Y'all missed every shout I just gave you, because a lot of times we judge people based on how they are wrapped on the outside. They are wrapped with designer clothes. My brothers and sisters, I've made up my mind. I'm not going to wear somebody else's name on the outside of my clothes as walking advertisement for making them money, because I've discovered if I know who I am and whose I am, I ain't got to wear your name to give me a sense of somebodyness. All I got to do is know who I am and operate in that power. But here it is. She testifies that even though the crystal was well wrapped, it looked good on the outside. It was shattered internally because there was a weight on top of it that broke it from without. I got to stop right there, because there's someone carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, and as good as you look, as well wrapped as you are on the outside, there is a brokenness, a shattering on the inside, because you've been attacked by anxiety. You are wrestling with worry. And with that being the case, I can't help but rush into our text, because the biblical text, by way of context, blows me away. I was studying for this message the great scholar, New Testament scholar, John Eliot. John Eliot has what he calls sociological exegesis, in which he gets into the sociological context of the text. And Eliot says when you study etymologically certain words in the original language, you will discover that the author of 1 Peter is writing to a people utilizing subversive language that only they can relate to and understand. Why? Because oppressive people always come up with their own language in order to communicate with one another, so that the oppressor cannot get what it is they were saying. That's why our ingenious ancestors, when they sang back in slavery, when they sang, watch this, "Still away to Jesus, I ain't got long to stay here," the oppressor would hear, when they die, they gonna be all right. But they were using double entendre in that they were saying, we gonna steal away because we know the Underground Railroad is about to take off, and so steal away to Jesus. I ain't got long to be a slave. Y'all missed your shout right there. And so oppressed people always have a sub-language, or a language that the oppressor cannot understand. And that's what John Eliot said is going on, because in 1 Peter, Peter is writing to an audience of exiles. They are immigrants. They have been pushed into countries where they have no real home. They are a rootless people, because of the fact that persecution has pushed them beyond where they planned on being. Y'all missing every shout I'm giving to you. I'm simply letting you know they are now labeled aliens where they are. They are labeled aliens. Ain't that jacked up? I thought an alien was someone that came from another planet. How can we label others as aliens, especially in a country that, if you look at this nation, ain't ain't nobody indigenous to this country except the Cherokee and the Apache and the Sioux. Those are the ones who are natives to this country. But watch what happened. And so John Eliot says that they were labeled aliens. As a matter of fact, the author is writing to persons in 5 different provinces of Asia Minor, and they are catching hell where they are because systemically they are part of a caste system. The caste system says only citizens can actually own property, and so there was only so high they could go economically because the system was wired to ensure that they would only go so high. I'm reading a book right now, Thomas, entitled Reproducing Racism, and the author, watch this, in the subtitle talks about how white advantage is systemically wired into the American fabric. In a real sense, what reproducing racism says, it's not enough just to get upset because you have Sterling calling people names. It's not enough to get upset because you have a clown in Nevada saying black people were better off in slavery. Real racism that does damage every single day is the reproducible racism that is wired into the fabric of American society. So it's no accident that even though white folk and black folk take the same amount of drugs, black folk are 4 times more likely to be arrested for drugs than white folk. Y'all missing every shout I'm trying to give you. It's wired into the system so the have-gots get more and the have-nots get less. But when they go to public education, they take the same test. Guess who's going to do a lot better on that same test? Because racism, it reproduces itself. It produces offspring and grandchildren and great-grandchildren and great-great-grandchildren, and it keeps on living. So we don't have Jim Crow, but we do have James Crow Jr.
West Baptist Church. Come experience the Lord.